Don't fuck with you. No, he don't. Jesus does not fuck with you. No, I'm just playing. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Let me turn on some Spotify. What y'all got going up in this bitch? We are here. We are here. Ah, shit. It's on my wife's Spotify. I gotta change that account. She be listening to some bullshit. Don't tell her I said that, though. All right, now, here we go. This is my Spotify. I'm gonna turn on some George Duke. You turn the shit down. The last time I had my Spotify on, my shit got demonetized. Yeah. What's up, y'all? Said Jay from DC. Man, I had a good time out in the DMV. I love the DMV. I love it. Ah, shit. Man, I went all the way to my garage to get my blunts. And damn it, did I leave my blunts? Ah, shit. What up, y'all? What up, y'all? What up, y'all? I'm gonna get going in a second. I was here to roll my blunts, but shit. I damn left my damn blunts in the garage. Shit. So let me come on in here. My coverage might get my cell phone coverage might. I don't be coming to y'all live from my garage no more. Let's see here. Y'all there? What's up, Jayla? Yeah, get your get your shit from Jayla. Weed Smoke 22 is a discount code. Get your candles from Jayla. Weed Smoke 22. And if y'all give me 20 seconds, I'll be right back. Because if I take my phone back to my garage, this shit about to drop. Give me 20 seconds. There we go. We back in this bitch. We back. I wasn't about to come to y'all without being able to roll my reefer. Hell nah. But what's up, chat room? What's up, mods? What's up, Quan? What's up, everybody? I start my workouts tomorrow. Oh, you say you smelling them candles? Hell yeah, Jayla's her candles be on point. I start with my personal trainer tomorrow. I want y'all to pray for me. I'm actually gonna be cataloging some of my journey on YouTube. I got a personal trainer. She's dope. Lala. She helped get many celebrities in shape for TV. And I had to go personal trainer route because all of my athletic endeavors my whole life has been centered around basketball and boxing, but mostly basketball. And ever since my last knee surgery I had, my legs ain't been right, and I've been getting fucked up. Like I've had two knee surgeries. So I'm like, man, I am not trying to have a third. So I need to get my ass a personal trainer so I don't fuck myself up. Problem is, not I won't say problem, but what I hear about her is she's extremely difficult. She's extremely difficult, but that's what I need. I need that. So I will be chronicling some of this shit on YouTube. Some of my workouts, so y'all gonna get to see. I'm gonna put it out there. Like fuck it. I'm gonna put it out there. Hey Steve, your main problem is finding a fat joke that's funny. God damn. How do you niggas keep missing? Shit. Fat jokes should be as easy as breathing. Or as hard as breathing for a fat motherfucker. Yeah, I play football, but let me tell you something. Basketball is way harder than football. Football was easy for me. When I played football, football was hella boring. Because like in football, like you only walk in straight lines. I was on offensive line. And you only like go in one direction and shit. Like basketball, you gotta play offense, defense. You running side to side, you jumping. I love basketball. Football, I remember when I first played football, they were like, man, Hell Week gonna be hard, man. Man, football Hell Week ain't shit. In football, see the thing about football is you work out and like you work until you stop. There's a whole bunch of stop and starting. So you get time to recover and rest. Shit like basketball, swimming, man, that shit non-stop. What's up, old head Deuce? What's up, Butter Love? We about to get it started. We getting it started. Thank y'all. But hey, press the number 1. If you I'm not doing wrestling. I'm not. I love you, Trader. You're a good dude. I appreciate your comments, my brother. But I ain't seen old head Deuce here in a minute. Where your ass been, nigga? You do be commenting after the videos though. But Trader, no. I'm not doing wrestling. No. Wrestling is too close. It's too close to another man's balls. I'm good. I'm telling you right now. If I gotta wrestle somebody to win a fight, that's what I carry a gun for. I ain't wrestling nobody. I ain't about to have nobody's fucking arm between my nutsack for me to win a fight. Hell nah. Nope. It is not that serious. And then wrestlers be wearing a little tight-ass leotard tights with their titties out. I'm good. Nope. I am not wrestling. Nope. I ain't doing no wrestling. I ain't doing no MMA. Like, MMA has, I say this to y'all all the time. I don't watch MMA, and I'm not watching any sport that you could beat somebody with some fucking rear naked chokehold, or one of the strategies to winning a fight is some shit called ground and pound. Hell nah. I'm not fucking with no MMA. They be like, you gotta win. Go for the ground and pound. I ain't grounding and pounding shit. Well, I'll tell you, I ain't grounding and pounding no man. I'll tell you that goddamn much. You'll never see me doing on MMA and no wrestling. It's too close. No, I'm good, brother. That's why I like boxing. It's a gentlemanly sport. Nigga, we fighting from a distance. That's what I'm doing. Fuck that. But press the number 1 if you saw Farrakhan's speech earlier. Press the number 1 if you saw Farrakhan's speech. Press the number 1. Yeah. Yeah, nah. Okay, yeah, so y'all watch it. Man. I'm telling. I made Quan me too. I watched it this morning, and as soon as my wife woke up, I was like, "Hey, you gotta watch this shit." And I watched it again with her. That's what I did this morning. I was like, Farrakhan speak. And so Farrakhan spoke this morning, and a lot of athletes started to change their tune. You see, I gotta have my wine with me. Cambria Winery, Central Coast, California. This is a clone 2A. It's a mixture of Pinot, Malbec, and it's in a still barrel. Good ass wine. I'm taking this shit to the head like a wino though. But no, it's not on YouTube. Well, it is on you. You can find it on different people's pages, but YouTube kicked the Nation of Islam off. So you have to go to noi.org. You have to go to the Nation of Islam website. But there are some people who did screen record it and put it up on YouTube. So if YouTube didn't take it down, those should still be up. But to give you a synopsis for those of you who didn't see, Farrakhan went live today. Live, pre-recorded, I don't know. No, I'm going to drink plenty of wine, all right? Please, let you know right now. No need for the warnings. I'm going to drink plenty of wine. I'm a wine drinking nigga. I drink wine 3 or 4 days a week. But thank you for your concern, but nah. I guarantee you I will drink plenty of wine. And that's why I do this shit in front of y'all. I drink wine and smoke weed in front of y'all because I understand that I have an impression on people and that people listen to what I have to say. The downside of people listening to what you have to say, and I'm not saying it's about you or anyone in here in particular, but in general, when a brother like me that comes around and has something to say, people generally want to project some level of pureness onto the individual with something to say. What's up, Netta J? Sometimes people want to say, hey, Dwan, you speak to so many people. You work with children. Why do you cuss and smoke weed? Because I'm a human, nigga. That's why. It's like America has this thing to where if someone says a few things that you like, now supposed to live some Puritan life. Like you're supposed to just be like, I don't smoke, I don't drink. And I love the Lord. And hey, you such a good brother. You so important to the community, my brother. You shouldn't eat the swine and drink the wine. You shouldn't smoke the reefer. Because people need ya. Let me tell you something. I'm a smoke, I'm a drink. I'm going to read playing cards. I'm going to do all that devil shit that they told y'all is a devil. Hell yeah. I read playing cards, nigga. Smoke, all that shit. Because I'm not a pure soul. I'm a faulty person, just like all of us. And I will never allow an image or a perception to make me feel as if I have to be some pure, clean soul. Hell no, I'm a cuss and I'm a drink and I'm a smoke. Nigga. I'm doing all that shit. I'm a regular ass nigga. I'm a king of clubs though. That means my talent just happens to be running my mouth. But just because my talent happens to be running my mouth, don't mean I gotta live some pure image for other people. That ain't happening. But yeah. So back to we talking about our brother Farrakhan. See, Farrakhan don't smoke and he don't drink, so I ain't got to. Farrakhan is he don't smoke, he don't drink, he eat once a day. So if you're looking for somebody that don't smoke, don't drink, don't cuss, eat once a day, you got our brother Louis Farrakhan. You got somebody. You dig? So yes, clubs do mean something. Clubs are mental. If your card is a club, that means you're a thinker, you're mental, and it also means your biggest hangups are mental also. But back to what we're talking about. So Farrakhan comes out today and he speaks. And to give you guys a synopsis of what he's talking about, he was supporting Louis Farrakhan threw his full support behind Kanye West and Kyrie Irving. He said that it's wrong. And I put some clips up here on my YouTube. I think in the shorts. I have some shorts that are up there that I clipped up. And also on my Instagram. Y'all should be following me on Instagram and Twitter. If you're not on Instagram and Twitter, same name, DwannB. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. That's where I put a lot of that shit up at. IG and Twitter. So Farrakhan comes out and he talks about, leave Kanye West alone. Leave Kyrie Irving alone. I appreciate the super chat. I appreciate that. He basically saying leave them alone because this is how I want to start this off of. Because I think I made this point before on Instagram, but I don't think I made it here on YouTube. We got to stop this fight between Kanye West and Kyrie Irving. One thing I've noticed, one thing that I've seen is you got a lot of people, Kanye West did it his way. Kyrie is doing it his way. What I'm seeing is people are having these debates over how Kyrie did it versus how Kanye did it. And I'm here to say, black folks, that's not a worthy debate to have, honestly, because let me tell you something. When it comes to standing up to oppression, there's no right way to do it. White supremacy is a system that is still going. It hasn't been defeated yet. So since the system hasn't been defeated yet, that means there's no formula to defeating it. Okay? That formula has to be developed through trial and error. You know what I mean? But when you see people like a Kanye West or a Kyrie Irving doing what they're doing, it's not. Now we can debate amongst ourselves as family. What's a good strategy to move forward with. But to say Kanye is wrong, or to say Kyrie is wrong, we don't know what wrong and right is. But I'll tell you this: if they're reacting the way they reacted, that means both of those brothers did something right. Now you can say who you prefer over the other, but when you see the level of reaction that Kanye has gotten, that Kyrie has gotten, Kanye West went balls out with it, Kyrie Irving just posted a DVD and didn't say nothing. God damn, it's loud out here tonight. Are y'all hearing all that goddamn background noise? It's a fuck ton of background noise tonight. Shit, why don't you niggas go home? Anyway, I appreciate the Cash App, Marcus. But this whole thing between fighting who did it and who did it right, who did it wrong, now ain't the time for that. Because what's the common thing? Whether you did it Kanye's way or Kyrie's way, the same people responded the same way. So all of those people, think about it. Remember just 2 weeks ago, everybody was talking about how Kanye West is and Kanye wrong and black people don't support Kanye because Kanye this and Kanye that. Kyrie Irving didn't do anything the way Kanye West did it. He didn't do it at all the way Kanye West did it. All he did was post a fucking link on Amazon. But whether you're Kyrie Irving or Kanye West, the backlash is the same. So what should that tell us as a people? It's not how you do it. It's who you're talking about. And if you say or don't say anything but mention these particular people, you're going to have hell to pay. So we're getting to see in real time all of that shit these niggas been talking the last few weeks about how wrong Kanye is. If Kanye was so wrong, then the response to Kyrie would be different. That's just me using deductive reasoning. Okay? That's right, DeAndre. It's like fight between Martin Luther King and Malcolm. So they all ended the same. Look, we're getting attacked as a people from 360 degrees. We're getting attacked from all angles. So that tells you something. The response has to come from all angles. Some people's responses are going to be profound. Some people's responses are going to be profane. It's not up on us to judge the response or the respondent. It's on us to see what it is and focus on the person responding, the common enemy. That's where our focus needs to be. And thank God for the wisdom of elder brother scholar Louis Farrakhan. I am not a Muslim. I'll never be a Muslim. I'm gonna always eat pork, and I'm never gonna put a part in my hair, so I can't be Muslim. And I hate bean pies. I'm not about to get on some carpet and pray to Mecca. I'm definitely not gonna wear no bow tie. But I have respect to the Nation of Islam. I have nothing but respect for those brothers. The Nation of Islam has a long track record of building strong men. I'm never going to, even though I'm going to crack jokes about the Nation of Islam, I will not stand for any Nation of Islam slander. Even though I'll never be a member of the NOI, I will not stand for slander against them. Any organization that can produce Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, Khalid Muhammad, Shahrazad Ali, and Farrakhan, I don't have anything negative to say about. You judge a tree by the fruit it bears. When you give me a Khalid Muhammad, a Malcolm X, a Louis Farrakhan, a Muhammad Ali, and a Shahrazad Ali, because we can't forget Shahrazad Ali. She's up there in the pantheon with all of them, if you ask me. Shahrazad Ali, the women had listened to Shahrazad Ali back in '89, we wouldn't be having these issues. We wouldn't need Kevin Samuels if they listened to Shahrazad Ali. So I'm not going to slander that organization. And that's another thing we as a people. It's like with black folks, the minute somebody find one bit of information on somebody, you bring up their name. Well, you know Farrakhan did such and such and such and such. Well, what you gonna do about it, nigga? Fuck you bringing up gossip for you can't do shit about. Fall in line and get the fuck out the way. Shit. I don't hear your gossip girl having ass. I can't stand niggas like that. Say one thing. It be like that when I talk about music. I put a music post up. Y'all go on my Instagram. If I put something up about Bobby Womack, about how much I love a Bobby Womack song, I guarantee goddamn to you, it's gonna be one nigga that's gonna comment, one to three niggas that's gonna comment, I don't fuck with Bobby Womack because of how he did his. He went with he slept with Sam Cooke's wife and wore his suit. I'm like, nigga, we all saw that documentary. You're not saying anything we didn't know. And you didn't know neither one of them niggas, so who gives a fuck if you fuck with him or not? Just listen to the story and shut the fuck up. Niggas always want to tell you what new gossip they got when you bring up somebody. That's some other shit we got to stop as a people. Fuck your gossip, nigga. We talking about we talking about A, B, and C, and here you come want to bring in some information that you heard on the episode of Unsung. If you don't sit your monkey ass down, nigga. Celebrities are regular people too. They fuck up. Who gives a damn? Did you learn the lesson or not? So, none of that shit. Yeah, that's right, brother love. Like, that's right. Like, so? Like, who cares? Nigga, if you think you're lonely now, wait until the night. It's one of the coldest songs ever. If you think you're lonely now, wait until tonight. Nigga, shit. If I'm jamming that song, you better not tell me shit about Bobby Womack's skeletons in his closet. You got skeletons too, nigga. Sit your ass down. Well, anyway, Farrakhan did what needed to be done. He didn't try to say Kanye West did it right or Kyrie Irving did it wrong or vice versa. He approached his speech from the point of view of the white supremacist is attacking both of these brothers equally. And what he's doing is he's showing very eloquently how they're doing it and how they're basically trying to buck break these two brothers. And there was a point in Farrakhan's speech to where he said, you're asking, they always, whenever we apologize, it's never enough. No matter how much one of them black men apologizes, it's never enough and never enough, never enough. But when it comes to us, you know, they don't apologize, but then when we ask for reparations, they act like it's absurd. And that's true. That's true. It's like we can never apologize enough, while at the same time, when they wrong us, they don't have to apologize at all. And that has to change. So, between yesterday and especially today with Farrakhan speaking, you're starting to see a lot of athletes backtrack. A lot of your sports pundits backtrack. You know? You see LeBron James saying, you see LeBron James old double talking ass just 3 or 4 days ago. Let the nigga go buying his Harley Davidson. I got a neighbor down the street that got a Harley. You know them old niggas in Harleys. Oh my God, them old ass black men in their Harley Davidsons bumping Cameo. You be like, man, Dexter, if you don't turn that shit down. Well, anyway. LeBron James, we saw a couple days ago how he was coming out on the side of them folks. He spoke to, I appreciate the super chat, Sean Mims. LeBron James came out speaking for them other folks saying that it's wrong. There's no space for anti-Semitism. You saw, or hate speech. You saw Shannon Sharp coming out. You saw Jemele Hill coming out. And I forgot to mention her old Beetlejuice looking ass. She's just as bad as, she's the mammy of sports, that Jemele Hill. Oh my God. She can't wait to shit on black men. And they came out real heavy last week against Kyrie. So these last couple of days, you're starting to see today LeBron James backtrack is talking about something. He still supports Kyrie, but I'm like, man, if you don't sit your heart shoe cooning ass down, nigga. You see Shannon Sharp tried to back off a little bit today, and then on Twitter a few hours ago he went right back against Kyrie. It's like let's take a moment, black people, to look at the time in history that we're in right now. Do y'all want to do a quick no, what am I asking y'all for? I'm gonna do it anyway. But we're at a time right now to where people are really waking up. Oh yeah, even Stephen A. Smith said something to speak up for Kyrie, kinda halfway, saying that it's been excessive. But here's the reason why we can't. Here's the reason why we have to stay focused on these people, and we cannot accept their apologies. Because an apology is changed behavior. That's truly an apology. We're going to have to do like what Farrakhan said. We're going to have to watch these people over a long, protracted time if we're going to accept these people back into the fold. Because they'll apologize and say one thing real quick, and then the next time a story comes out about a black person, they'll go right back to dumping on that black person. Mind you, when it came down to Kyrie getting that suspension by the Nets and all of that other stuff, that came after Shannon Sharp did his bug dance against Kyrie. That came after LeBron James bug dance against Kyrie. It's like when the way white supremacists work, they use the Negro buy-in to push their bullshit agenda. They need your buy-in first, okay? Let me give you an example about needing your buy-in first. The 94 crime bill. Remember when Bill Clinton when they were campaigning for Hillary? When they questioned him about the 94 crime bill, Bill Clinton said, well, the Congressional Black Caucus went for it. Al Sharpton went for it, so I had to. When it came to integration, even though we wanted reparations, we got integration, but what do they say? They hide behind the NAACP. They hide behind the SCLC. They hide behind those black organizations and say, hey, look, this is what you guys wanted, right? No different than sports. Hey, Jalen Rose. Hey, Richard Jefferson. Jemele Hill. We don't like the way that nigga, that other fellow black person of yours, we don't like the fact that he using his own brain. So I'm gonna need you brainless fools, my employees, to go and put him in check. And they do it. Like good little dogs. Good little boys. Good little boys. And they do it. And gals. And after those little mutts do what they do, here comes the white supremacist laying down a heavy fine, a heavy punishment. And then when the Negroes inevitably react, the white supremacist goes right back behind their cowardly position and they say, hey, It was those black guys that told us to do it, remember? It wasn't me. As I say, it wasn't me. It was that little bughead that journalist, Jamil Hill. She said we didn't go far enough. And then they do what they do. And now they've gone overboard with it. And those same Negroes that helped handcuff Kyrie and lock him in prison are complaining that the prison sentence is too long. Well, you helped put him there, fool. I'm not going to forget that. I can't forget that. I'm not going to forgive you while this man's still locked up and image tarnished. Kyrie Irving is one of the greatest point guards of all time. I've said this all the time. Kyrie Irving is a top 10 point guard in NBA history. Yes, I said it. Yes, I said it. My favorite 10 point guards in NBA history is always, of course, Magic Johnson, number 1. Isaiah Thomas. Nigga, Steph Curry is up there. You got Kyrie Irving's up there. Gary Payton, Jason Kidd. And this is in no particular order. Magic's number 1, yeah. But you got Gary Payton, you got Jason Kidd, you got Chris Paul, and Kyrie's up in that mix. Kyrie has the greatest handle in NBA history. Now, that right there is not up for debate. When it comes to handle, just straight up ball handling ability, Kyrie Irving's the GOAT. No one handles the ball better than Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving has the best footwork in the NBA since Kobe. He has the best footwork in the game since Kobe and the best handle, bar none. Nobody's dribbling like Kyrie Irving. I remember when Kyrie was a rookie, I would see him in warm-ups before the games. And this motherfucker knew how to spin that hoe off the backboard when he would practice his layups. And I see him do this shit in games. Well, he'd lay that hoe up off the top corner of the backboard, but he'd spin it. And when he spin it, the ball right in the basket, 2 points. It's like almost impossible to block him. He's like the shortest, like when he gets into the lane at only 6'4", you can't block his layups. You can't block him. Like he's the reason why I've been watching Kyrie on League Pass for 10 years now. I love watching that brother play basketball. That's a basketball playing motherfucker right there, Kyrie Irving. But they tarnishing his name right now because he thinks for himself. They're tarnishing his name because he thinks for himself. Kyrie Irving. Oh, Stacey Adams, I appreciate that. Stacey Adams, I appreciate that. I love that song by on the Last Meal by Snoop. We stay on point like Stacey Adams. That's a West Coast ass song. I don't expect you niggas from the East Coast to like that song, on the Last Meal album by Snoop. But the Last Meal album by Snoop, one of my favorite albums of all time. And that song, we stay on point like Stacey Adams. That's some West Coast LA shit right there, boy. 7 days a week. Kyrie 6'3", 6'4". I met Kyrie Irving. Like, I've talked to Kyrie Irving face to face. I know how tall he is. I'm 6'2", and he was slightly taller than me. He was slightly taller than me. Oh, you from the South? Yeah, the South. The South is the South be fucking with the West Coast. Yeah, we stay on point like Stacey Adams. What's up, Jeff Brown? But no, but Kyrie's 6'3". He's about an inch taller than me. An inch two. He's a little bit. We're about the same height, but he's a little bit taller than me. I've spoken to Kyrie and talked to him eye to eye before. I doubt he remembers, but I do. But back to what we're talking about. So I'm saying that to say Kyrie Irving is someone the children look up to because of that movie Uncle Drew. Uncle Drew was that was definitely the most popular basketball movie of the last 10 years. Uncle Drew was more popular than Space Jam. Space Jam had more promo behind it. I mean, Space Jam 2. Space Jam 2 had more promo behind it, but Uncle Drew was the best basketball movie of the last decade, and Kyrie Irving was the star of that. So he has a whole generation of children that just love him. Just like Kanye West. He has a whole generation of adults that love him. So the powers that be decided that these are the two that need to get publicly broken. Kanye West went the route of nominating himself to be buck broken. Kyrie Irving, I seriously doubt, understood what he was getting himself to. How could he? He just posted a DVD video streaming movie and didn't say anything. So how could he have known? So what does that show everyone who's spending all day comparing whose plight is worse or who did it better? It goes to show you whether you intentionally throw yourself fall on the sword, or you slip up and fall and end up on a sword. The results are the same. The results the same. Yeah, Space Jam 1 and 2 did suck. I hated Space Jam. What's up, Mike Robertson? Original friend, co-host of this show that I'm doing right now, Mike Robertson, Boulevard in the building. So, Kanye West went ballistic because of what he's dealing with. But if you listen to what Kanye West is saying, he's saying nothing that Michael Jackson didn't tell you. And mind you, Michael Jackson went through a similar public sacrifice, especially around the time of the History album. I always tell you guys, go back and listen to the History album. A lot of people missed that History album. A lot of people missed that History album. If you want to know better, go to Mods Help Me Out. Go to incensesandashtrays.com and you will see Michael Jackson, the Revolutionary. I wrote an article on it and I did a full video breaking down the History album and other revolutionary songs that Michael Jackson put together. It's on the History album. He has a song called They Don't Really Care About Us. He has a part where he says, Jew me, sue me. Another part where he says, kick me, kike me. They did not like that. If you go back and listen to that song right now, those words are blurted out. Go back and listen to Earth's song. Michael Jackson put his heart and soul into that album, especially the song Earth Song. What About Us? You hear his passion in his voice when he's singing that vamp. What about us? What about every man? What about us? See, Michael Jackson had that choir. He had that chant. Man, Michael Jackson was so dope. We do not give this man the credit he He put his life on the line for us, for a message. Go listen to the song Money. He says they'll kill for it, they'll steal for it. He dropped names. He said the Vanderbilts. He said, he dropped these names. He dropped the Rothschilds. Michael Jackson called these motherfuckers out by name. And he paid for it. That's what all them charges was about. He was going, when he was talking about Tommy Mottola, when the Invincible album dropped, he called Tommy Mottola the devil. There was an interview where he was talking about how he met with Mariah Carey, and Mariah Carey, when she divorced Tommy Mottola, would tell Michael Jackson everything about how evil that man was. Kanye is at his wit's end dealing with these same people who targeted Michael Jackson. That's why, if y'all go back and watch my videos, I played it down the middle on Kanye, because I've always, does Kanye coon? Yes, he coons. Is Kanye full of shit? Yes, Kanye is full of shit. Is Kanye right though? Yes, he's right. And that's where we can come together. I can look past your cooning if you're going after real people that really control things. I can look past that. Now, if you only talking about black people and you never point the finger towards the people who are putting us in a situation, then no, I can't fuck with you. I can't fuck with you. But if you say some shit about black people, I can get over it if you use that time to point your finger and you're really pointing at the primary culprit. I can get over slavery was a choice. Hell, that didn't bother me to begin with. Is it something I would have said in public like that? No. Me personally, I wouldn't have said it. But he said it. That's his choice. I never got in. To me, that was majoring in the minors. Talking about, oh, Kanye this and Kanye that. Niggas have spent 2 weeks talking about Kanye West and how he's wrong and how he shouldn't have did this and shouldn't have did that. Yet he's in the same exact position as the black man who didn't do any of that. Let's take 10 seconds of silence to think about that. I'm going to say it one more time, then we're going to take a moment of silence. We spent 2-3 weeks criticizing Kanye West for the way he approached his protests, only for Kyrie Irving to receive the same level of punishment from the same people that Kanye West was talking about. Let's take a moment of silence and think about that for a second. Y'all thinking? You said one more time? Kanye West, we spent 2 or 3 weeks debating how wrong Kanye West was and why he shouldn't have done it the way he did it, only for Kyrie Irving to receive the same level of punishment, and he didn't do it at all the way Kanye did it. He just posted a damn video. So how fruitful was 2 or 3 weeks talking about how wrong Kanye was? Where did that get us? What did we learn from that? I'll wait. What did we learn? I want to ask people in the chat room for real, because I'm sure people in here that disagree with me, I'm sure. If I'm wrong, just tell me what we learned. Whether you did it Kanye's way or Kyrie's way. What did we learn from 2 straight weeks of shitting on Kanye West? What did we learn from that? I didn't learn anything from it. Maybe someone in the chat room did. Yeah, I'm with you, Quan. I wasn't like Kanye West. I wasn't different. I didn't like. I was like, he do be saying some crazy shit. But I wasn't about to give Kanye that negative energy because at the end of the day, his primary message was going at them folks we all know are doing what them folks do. That was the primary message. So I wasn't, look, I'm somebody, my name be out there. I be out there. So I know I'm going to fuck up. At some point, I'm going to do something that all you niggas are going to be like, yo, Dwan, why'd you do that? I know, that's just life. And if I ever get to that point to where I do something that people are like, why did he do it? What is he doing? I want them to give me the same thing I give everyone else. A chance to explain myself. Because it's only human for one man or woman to do something that another man or woman disagrees with. We're never going to all see things the same way. It's impossible. If you see everything the same way, that means at some point you shut your brain off and lock and synced up with theirs. So it's one of those things where like I didn't have a lot positive to say about what Kanye was doing because I wasn't sure, especially the first week. So I just kind of played it. I cracked my jokes on Kanye because he do got one jaw bigger than the other, and that shit's funny to me. A nigga Kanye West looked like Mike Tyson socked the shit out of him on one side of his face and never recovered. But at the same time, there was nothing I can gain constructively from criticizing how he's doing it. Yeah, that's what we learned, Jayla. Your skin is your sin. That is the lesson we learned. Your skin is your motherfucking sin. So that's why I say that it's not good to spend a whole lot of time talking about why somebody isn't this and that, because we just saw in real time it didn't matter how you did it. Kyrie Irving didn't even directly confront these people. He didn't even say anything bad about these people. Matter of fact, he didn't say anything at all. He just said he knows who he is. So we gotta take note in real time about these things. And I'm not here to say I'm perfect. I'm not here to say other people are wrong either. That's not what I'm here for. This is a family discussion. We got 300 people in this bitch. Hit the like button, share it. This is just a family discussion to just observe what we're seeing in real time and recalibrate. Because at the end of the day, none of us know. I don't know. None of us know. But what we can do is observe when we take action. We can take a moment to reflect on the actions that we've taken in real time and ask ourselves, what was the constructive result of said actions? Am I just like help me out, chat? Am I just kind of just talking, running my mouth, or do y'all get what I'm saying? Or am I just, I want to make sure I'm clear. I want to make sure you guys like understand what I'm saying and to make sure that I'm clear. We don't know. But when I see someone going after the folks that we know are oppressing us, the authority or standing to say how you're doing it. Now, we can all comment when we see someone who's obviously working against our interests. Real talk, last name first. It's big when the minister comes out. When the minister comes out on a Friday morning, no, Thursday morning, it's big. When the minister got to bring it up, it's big. So this is when I say in real time, we got to be measured. We got to be measured in our criticisms of one another. Now, at the same time, life is a paradox. I'm going to sound like I'm contradicting myself right now, but we also have to know that life is a contradiction. Life is a paradox, a both and. Two things can be true at the same time. Here's what I mean by paradox. When I say we can be critical, when we see someone like a Shaq, Charles Barkley, Shannon Sharp, Jamil Hill. Now, when you see black people coming out and actively teaming with white people against a black person, that's when we can immediately call that out in real time right now. No, you don't do that. You don't lynch a black person for the interests of white people or non-black people. That's what you don't do. That's what we don't have to be measured about. We don't have to be measured about that. It's duality in this thing. That's the paradox. When someone is overtly speaking against the interests of the greater good of black society. Let me be very clear. I try my best to be clear. I know some of y'all gonna hear whatever you want to hear and take, because inevitably it's gonna be somebody in the comment section after the video that didn't hear a damn thing that I said. They're just gonna run their goddamn mouth, but you can't worry about them people. For those who have an open ear, listen to me. What you can't allow is other people that look like you to speak out against the greater good of your society to them other people that you know oppress your society. Again, it's not the players, it's a game. You can't focus on the player, you got to focus on the game. It's a pattern recognition. What's the pattern of the white supremacists? White supremacist targets black professional whatever. White supremacist gets black journalists, black co-workers, black people to say things that adversely affects the targeted black person they're going after. That's why leaving R. Kelly or whatever they had to have black people in it. And I'm not here to speak for R. Kelly. He just was the target. Bill Cosby, they broke the law to go after Bill Cosby. Again, here insert Jamil Hill. And insert a whole bunch of cowardly black men. They do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. Over and over and over again. They get a black person to shit on the targeted black person. Then once that targeted black person has been sufficiently shitted on by his own kind, the white supremacists And in this case with Kyrie Irving, the Asian white supremacist, because the guy's Taiwanese, the Asian white supremacist comes in and punishes black person to the highest level. R.E. Emanuel, I know he ain't white. What is R.E. Emanuel? Rahm Emanuel's brother. What are they? Are they Arabic or some shit? They're not Anglo-Saxon white. What are the Emanuel brothers? R.E. and Rahm Emanuel. What are they? Persian? What are they? They're Jewish? They're Israeli? Okay. I don't know what they were. Okay. I just know that I just could tell that the motherfuckers, they're not Anglo-Saxons. They're not Franks. They're not Visigoths. They're an ethnic white. So as we see, they all got on cold together. That's what they did. While we're arguing how wrong Kanye West is, they were searching for their next target. While we're saying Kanye shouldn't have done this, shouldn't have done that, they're waiting on the next shoe to drop. And let me tell you why. Let's back this thing up. Let's back this thing up. Let's back this thing up, all right? Let's back this thing up. Let's focus now on the time and place that we're in. Because I like to talk about things in the immediate, but I also like to talk about things in the big picture. Welcome to all my new subscribers. 1,500 new subscribers in the last month. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're at a time right now where things are changing, and I know you guys see it. We're in a quickening right now. The consciousness of the human race is vibrating at a higher level than it was 10 years ago. And salute to Kyrie. I posted this video on my IG. He put up an IG live a couple days ago where he was talking some real high level shit. I could tell that brother's reading. He's on that path to finding himself. He's on that path. Well, we are at a time that things are vibrating higher. People aren't under the spell that they were 10 years ago. And no, I ain't talking no mystical shit. Just pay attention, nigga. How many of people were in church heavy 15 years ago versus now? How many of y'all were watching MSNBC and CNN 10, 15 years ago versus now? How many of y'all would just read a headline, take what they said for it? How many of y'all actually trusted Obama at some point 10, 15 years ago? A lot of things are changing, and they're changing fast. A lot of people are waking up. They see that. People are starting to ask questions. They see that. People are talking to one another and comparing notes and saying, man, things ain't right. People are going into Twitter spaces, and instead of talking about the newest celebrity breakup, they're organizing politically. You guys are on YouTube right now. YouTube was created for everyone in here right now to be either watching basketball highlights, how to trim your pubic hairs properly, I don't know. But YouTube was created for that kind of shit. Cat videos, You guys are supposed to be on YouTube right now, focusing on some bullshit. But what are you doing? All 317 people in here, what are you doing? Well, not all. It's a few niggas in here. We ain't gonna acknowledge them bullshit ass people. The positive is all that matters. The positive people in here are here to hopefully exchange some information. I'm here to speak to you guys to give you information. I'm not about to waste your time on some bullshit. Even when we talk about bullshit, it's going to be a solution or some kind of lesson that we learn. That's how all my shows are going to be. We're building. So we aren't using their bullshit for the bullshit that they want. So what do? You do what Minister Farrakhan said earlier. You take the biggest buck and you break them. That's what Farrakhan was talking about today. You make an example out of the biggest, baddest ones. Fall in line. And we're not falling in line. And yes, we were sidetracked for 2 weeks and going back and forth about how Kanye was wrong in his approach. But we're past that now. People are starting to see, maybe it's bigger than that now. There was something that there was something on it. Something else that Minister Farrakhan said today. He even brought that up. He said, you guys are moving too fast. Because we're at a time and a place in human history, this Aquarian age that we're in, that things are going to a more communal, people leaning on one another type deal. Things are getting so tough in this country. Like I told y'all before, when I go back to my read back in June, when I read the cards on this country, I did a reading. For those of you who are new here, yes, I read playing cards. I don't read tarot. I read playing cards. The same playing cards that you play Go Fish with. There's a calendar and a map for life. And go look at my reviews. I'm a cold motherfucker reading these cards. But if you go back to my readings back in June, I told you guys this was coming. I said it's going to get really bad. It's going to get really uncivil as we get into the winter months. It's going to be very uncivil. But as we get into April, May, towards the spring of next year, you're going to start seeing a lot of families start coming together. This uncivil bullshit that we're going through right now is forcing families back together. You're going to start seeing baby mamas and baby daddies work out their bullshit and move in. And initially, it's going to be economic that's going to make a lot of you move in with one another. Just pure economics. But this time is also going to make you look past a lot of the bullshit. You're going to see people moving back in with their parents. A lot more of that's going on. People move back in with their parents. People moving in with their friends. And it's bringing people together. Now, it's bringing together under circumstances they rather not happen. It's not necessarily voluntarily bringing people together, but it's still bringing people together. And that's what we're going through. Ultimately, this is a good thing. Don't be distracted. Don't be distracted by the bullshit. This is a good thing that's happening right now. It's a really good thing. Let me get my other blunt. Where my other blunt go? Here we go. Get my blunt and my water. Hold on. There we go. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Had to get my second blunt. That was a call that was coming through. Can't talk to you now, brother. Hold on 1 second. Got too much going on here. But anyway, and it's happening right now. You see the division amongst us, the division amongst black people. A lot of that's going to be getting taken care of in the next few months too, by force. Remember, every you got to have challenges in order to win. You don't just wake up one day and you're the champion. The champion has to go through challenge after challenge after challenge in order to know that they're the champion. And right now we're at a time where we're going culturally, and both through our culture and through our society, we're going through a lot of challenges. But these challenges are ultimately bringing us together. That's what they're doing. So the lesson in this is, when you see your brother challenging. What the fuck, Dwan? When you see your brother challenging the oppressive system that you know we're in, the first thing you want to do if you don't agree is be silent. Pattern recognition is a rubric, it's a formula. When you see your brother challenging the system and those you know oppress us, if you don't understand it, if you don't agree with it, be silent. We're not going to understand everything, especially initially. Certain things we may understand later, but initially, you may not understand certain things. Initially. Paradox. Meanwhile, at the same time, if you see your brother helping the other shit on your brother, then you address that immediately. And I think it was our swift response as a people that got LeBron James backtracking, Shannon Sharp, and all these guys. What got them backtracking along with the minister was really our quick response. The most important thing, I'm live, the most important thing to these celebrities is popularity. That's the most important thing to these celebrities. They want to be liked. That's their kryptonite. Let me tell y'all something. I know a lot of these motherfucking celebrities. Not all, but the ones like your LeBron Jameses, especially your athletes. Let me tell you the psychology of an athlete. The psychology of an athlete, they depend on other people's opinions. Everything about their life is another person's opinion is how they're judged. Whether or not they make the team is dependent upon someone else's opinion. Whether or not they start or play point guard or play shooting guard. Whatever they do is dependent upon someone else's opinion of them. Whether or not they get traded. Whether they get a $5 million contract or a $50 million contract. It all boils down to somebody else's opinion of them. So athletes And it doesn't get better when they retire, because when they retire, it's someone else's opinion of them that determines whether or not they get that job at ESPN, TNT, NBA TV, or whatever. I'm talking strategy here, people, okay? Talking about how the youth, Nitty Fuller calls it political jujitsu. Athletes and entertainers are glued at the hip of people's opinions of them. So when the people turn up against them, they're not responding to your tweets, but they're reading them. I promise you. They're not acknowledging what you said, but they're watching. I promise you. And what you say, the overall opinion that you guys have of these people, it matters to these people. No matter what they tell you, it matters. They need to be liked. So when we respond the way we responded, that's like kicking these dudes in the balls, okay? You speak up. Let's go back to the formula. Shall I explain the formula one more time? Let me explain, and somebody in the chat room timestamp this bitch. Matter of fact, people in the chat, I'm looking for somebody to help me edit some of my videos down into like 1 minute reels and shorts, like different clips. Help me out with that, especially my Tuesday show when I'm on camera. But anyway, let's go back over the formula one more time. If a black person is calling out an other that oppresses us, and you do not agree with how they're doing it, stay silent. Watch it play out. Just allow it to play out. And the reason why I say that is because in this fight, when you're getting attacked from 360 degrees, every shot someone shoots ain't gonna make sense to you. Think about it this way. What's your peripheral vision you have with your eyesight? Well, you can see what, 160 degrees? You can see accurately in about a 90-degree window. But your peripheral covers 160, maybe 170 degrees. Your peripheral. Well, if you're looking north, and somebody on the other side of you is looking to the southeast, you're not going to see what they're shooting at because your focus is over here. Well, if their focus, just look at the map or just draw a circle. You play Call of Duty. I was just playing that shit earlier. If your focus is north and someone else shoots a shot to the south, you're not going to see what they're shooting at. It's not going to make sense to you because your vision is focused on the north. So you must be patient, because as long as they're shooting at the enemy, you don't have to understand right now. You don't have to understand. It's not about you. It's about winning the fight. Remove your ego from it. I'm gonna say that one more time. If you see a black man shooting at the proverbially shooting people, now I ain't talking about literally. If you see a black man, I'm gonna use the word going at the other team, and you don't quite understand why they're doing it, how they're doing it, just be quiet. At the same time, at the same time, if you see a black person going out of his way to help the other people attack another black person, speak out on that immediately. The evidence is what we're seeing today. Now you saw what happened when salute to Jaylen Brown from the Boston Celtics. Because CJ McCollum did some light-skinned shit talking about some. CJ McCollum is the president of the NBA Players Association, and he wasn't going to file an appeal for Kyrie Irving. But salute to Jaylen Brown, the vice president. He's riding for Kyrie. Salute to him. But I'm sure Jaylen Brown feels comfortable doing that because he sees the way we're responding. I saw somebody say Snoop Dogg and all the people that signed it. Look, I'm going to tell you something. Right now, at this point, in the future it'll be different, but right now at this point, I don't mind people being silent, okay? I'd rather you be silent than say the wrong thing. When it comes to race, let's just tell the truth. Most black people, especially black entertainers, just been lollygagging through life with that shit. They don't really study race relations. They don't really study these dynamics and what's going on. So if they say something, it's a 90% chance they're going to say something stupid. So I don't mind these people being silent. I don't mind people being silent. Only let the intelligence speak right now. The only people who should be speaking right now are those who've invested time into studying this thing we're dealing with. We may have different points of views, but if we've been focusing on this thing, these should be the people talking right now. If you ain't been studying this thing and you've been out filming TV commercials and drinking beer or whatever, it's okay that you're silent. I'm fine with that. It's better that they're silent. So I'm not going to indict anyone that's silent right now. Not this time around. Now, to those who are silent, I need you guys to, because I know it'd be blue checks watching. I've had a few blue check people tell me that. They be like, yeah, niggas be watching. I didn't know. For those of you who are silent, pay attention to what's going on and ask yourself how you're going to move the next time something like this happens. Because on one end, a lot of them probably shouldn't be speaking up, but they can speak with where they donate. Are you donating towards people and platforms that are helping get these type messages out so they can grow that? Because remember this, that's what happened during the 50s. Let me speak to the celebrities and the people of not just celebrities, the people that got money out there, and you don't want your money to get targeted. Because you see what it is. You need your money, and I'm with you. If you making your money, don't get your money targeted. Keep your ass silent. Let Kanye be a lesson to you. I'm not saying you got to speak, but I'm going to bring up, and I brought him up on the show before, T.R.M. Howard. Look up T.R.M. Howard. T.R.M. Howard was a businessman in Mississippi that when the Mississippi Freedom Movement really got cracking, he was vocal, but he was really about it with his money. He used his money to make things happen. He used his money. When Emmett Till got killed, T.R.M. Howard used his money to fly a writer from Jet Magazine down to cover the story. Emmett Till would have never gone national had TRM Howard not written the check. And I'm not begging for me. I appreciate the Cash App, Daryl James. I appreciate the Cash App. I'm not saying this for me. I'm not saying this for any black media in particular. You got to follow your heart. It may not even be black media. It may be on your heart. You might see a local person that you see on Twitter, on Instagram. I love the work that Slauson Girl does here. She don't even know me. I don't know her. Well, I follow her on Instagram. I love the work that she does. Like, if I was rich, I would silently just be breaking her off if I was rich. Because she be doing some real on-the-ground, dope-ass work. It's places like Hip Hop Uncensored. They talk about current events, but in a very open-minded way, and they always speak up for black people. It may not be media. It may be a children's center. It may be a school. It's a lot of these black schools out here that are home studies that need money. And the more money these home studies programs get, the less they could charge the black children and the families. Some of you may not say a word, but you gonna move some money. Other people out here don't have a dime to move because your money's tight, and I get it. But you gonna retweet. The information that you learn from me, the information that you learn from other people, you're gonna tell it. That's every bit as important as the money. Because again, it's not one thing, it's everything. Everybody has a part. Some of you niggas ain't gonna have the money you want. You can't speak the way you want to speak, but you gotta know some tech shit to where you can help niggas out on some techie shit and to play your part. Whatever the fuck your part is, play it. Play it. When I'm on my drums, I might hit my Chinese cymbal once every third song. I don't hit that Chinese much. It's a very trashy sound. The China cymbal is very trashy. If you ever see a drum set and you see a cymbal that looks like it's upside down, that's the Chinese cymbal. When I play, I don't hit the China much. But when I do hit the China, it gives the song a texture that makes it sound complete, because that's what's needed in that moment. An example of a China being hit is on Running Away by Frankie Beverly and Maze. When they get to the vamp at the end. Dun, 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 dun. On 4. Dun, 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 4. No, and on the end of the 4. Dun, 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 dun. He hits that China, but it gives it a rawness. Why am I bringing up music? Because life is a song. That's why I'm bringing up music. Life is a song. And sometimes your part might just be that Chinese cymbal that gets hit once every third song. All that matters is when your part come around, you hit it. And not to judge what one man is doing versus the next. Some people gonna do one thing, some people gonna do 10 things. Some people gonna talk, some people gonna be silent. Some people gonna, make their contribution with gestures. Other people are gonna do it with words. Everybody gotta play their part. When I'm playing the drums, I'm not complaining that my left hand gotta do these 16th notes while my snare only gotta do half notes with maybe some ghost notes in between. My left hand is working way harder than my right hand. my left foot, when I'm left-handed, so for traditional drummers, y'all would flip it right hand, work harder than left hand. But I play left-footed on my drums. I play left-handed. I'm left-handed. And when I'm hitting my kick drum is gonna be hella busy. Sometimes I won't even move my right foot, my hi-hat foot. Some songs, it'll never go open. So that hi-hat is just gonna be pressed down. The whole song, my right foot is gonna be pressed down on the hi-hat. My left foot is gonna be working these hesitated 16th notes. Everything is working at a different pace when I'm playing the drums. All four limbs are working, but they're all working at a different pace. Does it matter which one is working more than the other? What matters more? Who works the most? Who works the least? Or the quality of the song when it's all said and done? What's the most important thing? Just being logical. What's more important? Who worked the hardest? Who worked the least? Judging who did this versus that? Or does the song sound good? If you ask me, the thing that means the most is, does the song sound good? So everybody got their part in the song to play. You got to play it. What's up, Jeff? You talking about splash? Jeff, the splash is my favorite symbol. I'm going to hit the splash in every song. There's not a song that's going to go by that I don't hit my splash if I have it set up. I'm going to hit my splash every song. And I'm going to hit my 16-inch Sabian stage crash too every song. Stage crash. That Sabian 16-inch stage crash, that AAX, man, it's the best sounding cymbal on earth. My 8-inch splash, hell yeah. The cymbal with the holes in it. That's a few. That's just a. That's a crash. They be having different names for it, but that's still just a crash cymbal. Someone with the holes in it. Yeah. So that's what tonight is about. He said, "Can I kill the intro to Easy Lover by Phil Collins and Philip Bailey?" Down, 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 down. Easy Lover by Phil Collins. That sounds like an 80s wrestling song. Easy Lover sounds like some shit that Shawn Michaels walked down to the ring and playing. She'll break your heart, but you won't feel it like no other. Before you know it, you'll be on your knees. She's the kind of girl that dream of. Down, 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 down. This nigga said Easy Lover. God damn. That song Easy Lover makes me want to grow a mullet. Like, I want to grow a mullet and just fan through it, and wear some bullshit ass 80s clothes. Every time I hear Easy Lover, I want to grow a mullet and have a headband on with my mullet. Nigga, yeah. Nigga, Maurice, last name first said Maurice White, turning over in his grave. That's a good one, because Maurice White. Well, you gotta know, Phil Collins, he took all of Earth, Wind & Fire. Phil Collins' band was Earth, Wind & Fire minus Maurice White, all throughout the 80s. Took the Phoenix horns. That's the live version of One More Night. That's the same person, Don Myrick, playing the saxophone on the live version of Reasons. That's the same person, Don Myrick. You had Larry Dunn. You had motherfucking all of them. Verdine didn't go, but the rest of it was Earth and Fire. And do y'all know that Don Myrick got killed by the Santa Monica PD in the drug raid? They had a warrant on Don Myrick's house in 1993. He answered the door with a lighter in his hand, and the police officer shot and killed him. Don Myrick died the same way Breonna Taylor did. Do people know that? Black folks, we've been dealing with this shit for a long time, man. And that ties back into the overall message of tonight. The overall message of tonight is when you see a black person standing up against them folks and you don't agree with them, just be quiet. Let it play out. Be in observation mode. That person could be dead wrong. They very well could be. But when you're doing what hasn't been done before, you have to know that mistakes will be made. The biggest thing is to sit back and observe the mistakes and observe when right. Because if you sit around arguing, they're calculating, and then boom. The people listening to you saying what the other person did wrong, they can listen and heed to every single point that you make and do it exactly the way you said it should be done and still end up in some bullshit. Oh shit, here come the goddamn fire truck. This is the slowest moving goddamn fire truck. Oh, they're going the other way. But so I'm saying that to say we don't know. We don't know. So sit back and watch. Make some comments and crack jokes. But me personally, when I saw like different like videos or people going into debates about what Kanye did wrong, like ever since the whole Kanye thing started, I've like been off Twitter Spaces. I haven't. If y'all, for those of you who follow me on Twitter, I did my own Spaces like with Randy Short. But as far as going in other people's rooms and spaces, I just didn't go. If I saw any videos on YouTube talking about why Kanye was wrong, I didn't even listen. Cause I'm like, I don't even want to get into that because it's too much going on for me to give my time to what somebody's doing wrong. And that being said, at the time, I did not agree, like, with some of the things Kanye said. And I do agree that he be saying some bullshit sometime. But his overall thing he was going after, I was like, now this ain't the time to entertain that right now. So I just didn't watch. But when you get those LeBron Jameses and Bomani Joneses and all those guys coming out against a black person, because here's the thing, what did Kyrie say? No one still said what Kyrie said. All these people saying Kyrie is wrong for what he said. But please, chat room, help me. Can you put in quotes what Kyrie said that offended? Because Shaq keeps telling me he says these things. What did he say? Can y'all help me and put it in quotes? What did he say? Esmith said, quote, nothing. What did he say? So there's our clue. He said nothing. We all agree with that. So if you see these black people going around saying these things, but they can't even tell you what he said, that lets you know they're part of an agenda. They're being told what to say. They're being told by people who don't want to be the face, who don't want to own up to this. So they pay Shaq and Charles Barkley millions of dollars and Bomani Jones. They pay them millions of dollars. And remember, Bomani was supposed to be Mr. Black, Bliggity Black. Remember that. Remember a few years ago on ESPN, he had that shirt that said Caucasians instead of Indians. And he was Mr. Black. And now he's talking about Kyrie. But, yeah, get it, girl. It's basically what he said. I'm black and I'm proud. In a nutshell, that's what he said. And get it, girl, that's the comment of the night. Basically what he said was, I'm black and I'm proud. And there's your offense right there. Kyrie basically said, I'm black and I'm proud. That was the comment. I'm sorry. I apologize to everybody else. Y'all may have said something dope, but y'all know I haven't really been looking at the comments because I've been in my stream of thought. But I just looked down the comments. That's in a nutshell what it is. That's it. He basically said, I'm black and I'm proud. You writing last name first, Bomani Fox Black. Emery Willis, you remember that shirt? Yep. So that's what happened. That's what it is. Oh, man. Y'all see Mars and the moon? That's Mars right under the moon. It's beautiful, ain't it? I love the show. And then the Pleiades are, you can't see the Pleiades right there, but yeah. That's the planet Mars right under the moon. Well, so that's what it is right now. And we're starting to see some of these athletes that came out rah against Kanye, against Kyrie Irving. They're backing off now because they're seeing us not stand for it. We're at a time in history right now where we're rejecting mass media for the first time. And this is the first time in American history because media started to get really big in American history. It was always around. You always had your papers. Not papers, but you've always had your publications. But really, most of my acute knowledge of media starts post-slavery. I'm not going to lie to y'all and tell you I studied much media during slavery. I didn't. I need to, because I'm actually curious about what media was like during slavery. I don't know much in that area at all, so I'm not going to sit here and act like I know some shit that I don't know. My knowledge of media and the propaganda tool that it is starts in the 1880s. Those are the years I've actually spent time both reading books and watching documentaries on. Starting around the 1870s, 1880s. Really 1870s, during Reconstruction. Because during Reconstruction, black people rebuilt the South. Black people rebuilt the nation. Black people had a very positive image in the United States of America. Black people were known as hardworking. Black people were known as skillful, as craftsmen, as dependable, reliable. motherly, humble, loyal. Like the symbol of loyalty in America in the 1860s was of black people, okay? Make no mistake about it. We were the symbol of loyal in America. Well, after black people were freed from slavery, America had to find a new way to control the perception of the free Negro, because America knew that it would only take a generation for black people to basically get back on top if left to our own devices, and if without a mass understanding, without a mass misinformation campaign, okay? So what happened was they started to send out mailers, and that's where you get your Americana stuff from in the 1870s, 1880s. That's where you get the Aunt Jemima image, the big lips, the eating on watermelons, which was a phallic thing, eating on the watermelons, the jigaboo. That's where that dehumanization of, and during the 1870s and 1880s, these were mailers that were sent out. And according to Oliver Stone in his documentary on the presidents, of the America's Untold History, when he's dealing with the 1880s, this is according to that documentary, according to Oliver Stone, they said they didn't really know where these mailers were coming from. No one took responsibility for sending these mailers out. So you ask me, who has the power to send out just mail to around the country with, I'd assume that had to have some kind of official connection. That's just my assumption. So, and then so when you read, and also you can read some of the stuff in the book Creation of the Media by Paul Starr. Salute to Dr. Randy Shore for telling me about that book. It's a book called The Creation of the Media by Paul Starr. So you can get some more information from that book. I'm telling you guys some of my sources. I have others, but these are some of my sources. So in the 1880s, you see this negative imagery of black people getting pushed out there, so you can start having a dehumanization of the Negro. And then you get to that racist Pulitzer, his paper in New York, dehumanizing black people all the time. And William Randolph Hearst. William Randolph Hearst was a racist motherfucker, but he's very interesting to me. I study William Randolph Hearst. I already got interested in studying him when I saw the movie Citizen Kane. When I saw Citizen Kane, that just made me very interested in William Randolph Hearst. So I've studied a lot about that man. I've even gone to Hearst Castle. That's about a 3.5-hour drive north of LA. But it's along some of the most beautiful coastline down the Pacific Coast Highway. If you're ever in California, I'd recommend that you go to Hearst Castle, because also he has a lot of ancient Egyptian artifacts in that motherfucker. Shit, why you tripping? You can go to that white man's house and say, I don't want to see that white man's house if you want to. Shit, he got some busts from the goddamn 18th dynasty in that bitch. Like, he got better shit than you gonna find in museums in that house. Well, anyway, Hearst, who was also responsible for starting the Spanish-American War in 1898, because he basically lied and said the Spanish had some shit down in Puerto Rico, and they didn't, and pushed America to war. And the Battle of San Juan Hill with Theodore Roosevelt was actually taken by the Buffalo Soldiers. But when the Buffalo Soldiers, the black soldiers, took the Battle of San Juan Hill, Theodore Roosevelt and his white Rough Riders stood on top of the hill with the American flag and took a picture. So the picture that you see with Theodore Roosevelt on the San Juan Hill, the Battle of San Juan, with the white Rough Riders, That was actually a bullshit picture because it was the black Buffalo Soldiers that actually took that. Well, anyway, and I learned that in college. I had a dope-ass history teacher in college, Mr. Kagan. His lectures were like movies. I remember his lectures. I still got vivid memories of his lectures. Anyway, so black people were still doing these things, clearing out the West, and so we still had this positive image, so they had to do it. So the mailers is one way that they cut our image down, and another way that they cut our image down was William Randolph Hearst. He was always putting images out there, lazy black people. These, basically pitting black people against ethnic whites, pitting black people against ethnic Italians, pitting black people against ethnic Greeks and Irish, and really drumming up, dramatizing race relations here in America. So that's how they do us. And they were able to do that overtly back then. And then we all know about the Birth of a Nation, 1915, and how that revitalized the Ku Klux Klan. So media goes a long way in perception. It means everything in the perception of groups of people. So that's why I'm giving like a contextual reason why it's important that we speak out against these Stephen A. Smiths, Bomani Joneses of the world, Shannon Sharp's, Shaq, Charles Barkley, and these Negroes that take money to throw negative stereotypes on black people. Because I'm going to tell you this truth and I'm going to get up out of here. A lie got to be told every day, all day, to maintain its validity. The truth only got to be told once. The truth stands on its own. So a clue that you're being lied to is when you're getting a constant message over and over and over and over and over again. That's them putting an image into your mind, creating an inception. An inception, something that in your mind that if left alone, if given enough time, it'll go away because people will see the truth, and that truth is going to override whatever you incepted into these people's minds. So you have to have a constant flow of this negative imagery. And it works best because black people over the years have gotten smarter. We got to understand we've only been dealing with media. We were dealing with print media in the 1880s, the 1800s, through the 1950s. The TV came around in the 50s, but you didn't really start seeing a TV in every home until the 60s. A lot until the 70s. In some areas to the 70s. But you didn't start to see a TV in every home in America until the 60s. And even then, there was only one TV. It wasn't a whole host of TVs. It wasn't TVs in every room. So the human brain has only had a few generations to adjust to this thing that we call TV. Because the mind is wired to believe what it sees. That's how God wired our brains. Just that before, the only thing that we saw was what happened in front of us. This thing called a TV that really got prominent in every home in the 1960s. That was the first time the brain has had to deal with seeing things it didn't actually experience for itself. Think about that psychologically. We're not gonna read about this in the New York Times, people. White folks ain't about to tell us their secrets. We gotta sit back and think for ourselves and have these conversations amongst ourselves. If we think about it, this thing we call the TV, our brains, and we're the oldest people on the planet, we've been here millions of years. For the first time in our existence, has to has this thing in front of us that can see things that we've never personally experienced. And you get a constant influx of this every day, all day, no break. TV, TV, TV. And if you're a black man without a job, that shit gonna be on ESPN most of the time. So your heroes are now people who could dunk a basketball and catch a football. Not the men that you grew up around that you saw built that house or fix Mabel's garage. Those men are no longer your heroes. Your heroes are these men you've never met, never will meet, that got a 42-inch vertical. Our brains have had a lot to deal with new over the last 60 years, people. It's only been 60 fucking years that TV's been in every home. Go speak to some of your parents. Some of your parents and grandparents had whole childhoods with no TV. So we're now the first generation to say, hey, I know this is what I'm seeing, but I don't believe it. I know this is what you're showing me, but I know this isn't true. We're disturbing the default programming, people. We're disrupting the default program. And it's not all of us. It's just a small minority. That's all that's needed. "85% of the people follow the wind." "10% just go against the 85% so they can feel different." And then you got 5% that are open. And we're the 5%. We're by no means a majority. If you're in this chat room, you are not part of the majority. You probably still ain't talking to your cousin because they were trying to tell you to vote. You ain't talked to your cousin in 2 years, but they sent you a text message last week asking if you're going to vote. You know you're the minority. But think about it. You're becoming more and more and more coming to your side. You're more popular now than you were 5 years ago, ain't you? When you first started to open your eyes 10 years ago, you felt alone. And this is what Kyrie Irving meant by find your tribe. This is the season to find your tribe. That's what that young brother meant. That's a smart young man that's finding his own way. It's a smart young man that's finding his own way. But that's what he meant by this is find your tribe season. right? So, again, before I leave, what's the lesson for today? When you see a black person calling out another black person while getting paid by a white person or group, call them out immediately. How do we know they're getting paid by them? If they work for ESPN, if they're writing for Rolling Stone magazine, if they're working for Fox Sports or any of these mainstream outlets, and they're using their microphone to call out a black person, that means by default they're speaking because those are the ones paying them. We call them out immediately. The evidence that works is we see them backtracking already, a lot of these guys. Athletes, what's another lesson? Athletes and former athletes and entertainers are hyper aware of their perception by the people, especially those that look like them. No matter how hard they play, Play, they feel it. And they don't like it. So don't be afraid to call they sucker asses out. The other lesson is, if you see a black person going at those other people and you don't understand what they're doing or how they're doing it, just be quiet and allow it to play out. Because we don't have the answers. We're all attempting to do something that hasn't been done yet. Needy Fuller talks about that when it comes to being on code. We're trying to dismantle a system that no one has been successful at dismantling. So sometimes people are going to shoot a shot that you don't understand because it's not within your field of perception. Your vision gives you 160 degrees of eyesight, 60 to 80 of keen eyesight, straight ahead. Everything else you can't see. Our issue is 360 degrees. So somebody may be shooting a shot to the side of you that can't see. So before you argue with them and ask them why they shot that shot, as long as you know that shot is going to them other people, now ain't the time to talk about, well, 2 years ago, you shot that shot at my cousin. Well, he ain't shooting at your cousin right now. He's shooting at them. Be quiet and allow it to play out. Then once it plays out, we can all have a discussion on the effectiveness of that shot. That's how we can do it maturely. I think this is just a lesson for us. I'm not mad at anybody who was criticizing Kanye. I want to let you know I love you too. Because the reason why you were criticizing Kanye is because you care. You really do care. You want to solve this thing. You frustrated. We as a people, we frustrated, man. We hurt. We hurt and we frustrated. So if you had a lot to say about Kanye, it's because you care. So I'm not here to judge you and say you were wrong. I'm just here to say we need to do better next time because it's coming. These motherfuckers they're about to shoot at another one of our brothers. They got another black man waiting that they ready to take down. Let's just get it right next time. That's all I'm saying. Black people are starting to wake up. And oftentimes the first step to waking up is anger. So you saw Nick Cannon shoot his shot. Then he got slapped back into place. Kyrie shot his shot. He getting slapped back into place. So this is time for us just to look at what we did and make adjustments. I'm not here to say anybody was wrong. I'm not here to say I'm right. This is just my offering. This is just my suggestion. That's all. And I say that shit humbly, too. I say that humbly. But pretty soon in the very extremely near future, a white person's about to fuck up real big. And it's about to be somebody, or black too, somebody who went really hard at Kanye or Kyrie. Watch, in the next couple weeks, something really big is about to come at one of these people. I don't know if they're going to be black or white, but it's going to be somebody who went at Kanye or Kyrie. Their cards are about to get pulled. I read it already. Sometime in the next couple weeks. Look for it around Thanksgiving, give or take a week. You're going to see somebody that went real hard against, that's been going real hard in this whole thing. Somebody's card is about to get pulled. We're in a time where things are happening real quick. Somebody's card is about to get pulled. I don't know whose. I have no clue. I don't know if they're white, black, Asian, Hispanic. I don't know. I do not know. But somebody who's been vocal about this whole situation, their card is about to get pulled. Watch. Either that or somebody of another culture is going to do some wild shit that really trumps anything Kanye West said or Kyrie. Somebody's about to do some wild. So it's one of those two scenarios is coming. Either somebody going to do some wild shit that trumps them, and we're going to be able to see the heightening of the contradictions, or somebody tied into this whole Kanye, Kyrie, one of these two situations, their card going to get pulled. One of those two things are going to happen in the next couple of weeks. I'm telling y'all that right now. Timestamp that bitch. All right. Get Jayla's mood, lightthemood.com. Weed Smoke 22. The candles is dope as fuck. Get your t-shirts at Hotepish.com. Get your readings at breakthroughas.org. Breakthrough Cardology. Oh, and I'll be on either tomorrow or Saturday. We're going to read Kyrie Irving's cards. We're going to read Kyrie Irving's cards. I planned on doing that today, but I came out here to smoke with y'all instead. But yeah, y'all be good.